gentlemen, yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Hey, welcome to the best sports podcast on the planet, where we cover all of the weekly top sports stories going on in the world today. I am your host, Eric.
There's never a dull moment.
Never, ever, my friend. Never, ever. I'm your host, Eric. My main man right over there, Ron. How are you tonight?
Quite well. I'm ready to go. Looking at all the notes and
just think we get to do it all over again tomorrow night. So if you want to join us, we will be doing our Super Bowl preview show. We will have the big dog Kenny and the new guy, is what we're going to call him, James, joining us tomorrow night for that. So stay tuned, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rhode Island Broadcasting. So excited about that. But Ron, we're not going to break down anything, but we're going to talk a little bit about this game that's happening on Sunday. It's called the Super Bowl. I don't know if you've heard of it before.
What is the Super Bowl?
The two teams, they get to play, to win this trophy thing. So Lombardi Trophy on the line this Sunday, Super Bowl 58, Ron. It's just 2 days away, believe it or not, how quick it's approaching. What are you looking most forward to in this game? What are you looking for? Obviously, we'll do all our analysis tomorrow night during our Super Bowl preview show. But what are some of the things you're looking for or want to see?
I just want to see a good game that's good, with the officiating. There's been some moments for the officials, this playoff year again. And I think what people really want is a game that isn't going to be scrutinized for some negative way.
Yeah, listen, anytime an officiating crew, is involved in the game, possibly, changes the outcome of the game, that's always a fair. I also do feel like this is a David versus Goliath story, because if you really look at Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, last pick in the draft, who's giving him an opportunity to even win this game? Most people are picking Kansas City just based on the fact that, listen, Patrick Mahomes has been here. He's kind of at the top of the mountain right now. And I think that's an interesting way to look at this game. Can Brock Purdy handle that pressure? If you look at the playoffs, he hasn't wowed us. He's looked okay. He's made some good plays at certain times, but he hasn't shined. And now with all the lights, my question is, right, can he handle that pressure, or will he finally crack or succumb to that?
Yeah, that's going to be a big part of all of this, right? I mean, you're looking at a guy, Mahomes, that's been there, and he's the reigning champion.
Don't forget about my auto. Come on, man. That's a great commercial. That State Farm commercial is outstanding. Mahomes and my auto. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, so you're looking at a guy that knows what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and rises to the occasion time and time again, a la Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to like about how he plays the game as well, right? And then across from him, you have Brock Purdy, who, everybody has questioned over and over again, even during the season when they went into that tailspin and then they righted the ship and then they went into the playoffs, pretty hot. And then they haven't looked back, even if there's been times where he's looked a little shaky at times, but he does pull through and he does make the plays that are needed. And hopefully, there'll be a great game and it'll be competitive, and hopefully he can do what he does.
Another thing I really want to look at in this game, is this Andy Reid's final game as a head coach? A lot of
Right.
rumors out there, speculation on possibly being it for Andy Reid. So how he reacts during the game, and we're going to be watching to see, if they're down, how he's reacting, or if they win, how he reacts to the win. So that, again, very interesting. Also, which defense makes the other team's offense uncomfortable, right? Because
Yeah.
you're going to look at it, and we all want to see this, Brock Purdy versus Mahomes and McCaffrey and Pacheco and all these guys on offense. But think about this. The defense could play a big part in this. Chris Jones for Kansas City, right? We know what he can do. Nick Bosa for the 49ers, what he can do. Which
Right.
defense creates that tension for that opposing offense that possibly could swing the game? That's something else I'd be looking for, because I think that could be a story that most people, it's under the radar.
Yeah, I mean, we're going into this with two good offensive teams, right? And mostly because of Mahomes on one end, and you're looking at the trio of Purdy with McCaffrey and Debo, and they're both forces to be reckoned with. And that defense is going to have to stay on their toes on both sides.
Right. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and it's going to come down to a play, right? It always does come down
Usually.
to a play.
You hope, yeah, most of the time. And I would say this: we can't forget Usher at halftime. I love Usher. I'm a big Usher fan. Obviously you're not. I'm
Well, I
hearing
mean,
they're saying Ludacris might join them.
that's what I'm hoping.
So
That's
I'm
what
like,
I'm hoping, because Lude is my boy.
yeah, right. Like I like when they
Oh.
do that, like Rihanna last year, or right, and you're going, oh, is Eminem coming out? Like who they bring in? There's always that anticipation that somebody you're not expecting is going to jump on stage with them and do
Yeah,
something. So
I'm hoping he does go because, I mean, obviously the song,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah. I
Look at
was
that.
waiting
Yeah,
for it.
there it is.
You know the song.
Yeah.
And I want Ludacris to be there. I hope that he is.
Right. I think that's going to add to the whole thing, because the whole time I'm going to be waiting, and I think that's going to be fun. Obviously, we'll break this game down tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rhode Island Broadcasting, our Super Bowl preview show. So tune in for that. If you're a Super Bowl or a football fan in general, we're going to be talking a lot of football. Got a lot of fun things to talk about tomorrow night. So tune in for that. And again, the new guy, James, and the big dog will be with us as well. So much fun. Luda. All right, my friend. We're going to continue this.
Maybe he can be there and sing like Blueberry Yum Yum or something.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if they'll be doing that, my friend. I find that hard to believe.
Or that Move song, you know the Move song, right?
Yes, I know the Move song. So let's continue with this NFL talk. We're going to talk about Lamar Jackson. He won his second MVP award last night, Ron.
Yes, I called earlier.
Do you believe he deserved it?
For the regular season, absolutely.
See, this is where I wanted to argue with you tonight. And the reason why I want to argue, by the way, season 4, episode 6, Action Jackson, hence the name and the title, and a little remembrance to Carl Weathers as well.
Yes.
So Kenny thinks ooze, but okay, I will say this. Here's my problem. Yes, there we go, Kenny. I will say this. I am starting to think the NFL should wait till the season's over. And I'm not saying that the playoffs should play a factor, but it should be a part of. Because if I'm looking at it, Lamar Jackson, 49 out of 50 potential votes. Josh Allen got 1, believe it or not, for first place. The only reason why Jackson wasn't unanimous. But Brock Purdy, who's in the Super Bowl, 4th. Patrick Mahomes, who's in the Super Bowl, 7th. In overall. Like, I start to question how Lamar Jackson, who went 1-1 in the playoffs, his team was favored, loses to Mahomes, yet is the MVP. And I'm starting to question why they wouldn't change this award till after the season is completed and then factor in what happened in the playoffs.
Yeah, because they don't do it that way because it's very simple. Whoever wins the Super Bowl is going to have the MVP. That's
No,
why
what I'm
they
not
don't
saying.
do it.
No, I'm saying it should be a percentage. Let's say
Yeah, but
50% is the
people
season.
don't look at it that way, Eric.
See, but this is where I feel so. Ron, you know the last MVP to win a Super Bowl?
Tom?
No, 1999. Kurt Warner of the St. Louis Rams. They don't even exist in St. Louis anymore. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, we're picking guys that aren't even a factor in the biggest game of the year to be the MVP of the league. And I find that to be weird. Like, it doesn't make sense to me anymore.
It is weird because, and it's not just this sport. It's all of them. The MVP almost never wins the championship.
Like, it should be a...
It's very odd.
Tell me you don't think 25% of the season should count for this overall? Like, just give them...
I'm not saying it does, but most people can't vote, properly. That's the problem. People don't vote properly.
Yeah, who gives Josh Allen one vote for first place?
Right.
Like, that didn't make no sense. And then you know who finished second overall? Dak Prescott. Think about the playoffs he had.
Wait, Dak Prescott was second?
It went Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, Josh Allen, Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes came in at second.
Oh, my God.
And I don't know how Tyreek Hill's ahead of Patrick Mahomes. But anyway, he didn't hit the 2000 recent.
Brutal.
This is what I'm saying. Like, I don't get where they get. So when you look at it.
This proves my point, Eric. It proves my point about whoever's voting on these MVP awards, they have no freaking clue what they're doing. They're complete buffoons. I don't care who they are. I don't care who it is, but they're buffoons.
I got an idea. We should do a Sports Unfolded Awards, like each sport, and we do it after the season. After the season.
So, okay. So when's going to be our NFL?
I don't know. We can talk about it. Let's get this going.
Now it's just all the extra work now.
Yeah, a lot of work. What are we doing to each other? But I would say, right, like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm not saying Lamar Jackson isn't the MVP. What I'm saying is I would also like to factor in that he lost to Patrick Mahomes. He's not in the Super Bowl. Okay, would that maybe knock him down? I'm not saying, but maybe he won't get 49 votes. Maybe he gets 35 and it gets a little more interesting. I would definitely not make Dak Prescott the second best player in the league.
Absolutely not. That is just ugly voting.
Right. I would knock him down a little bit. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's where I feel like you can't take just the regular season and make them an MVP. Because to me, most valuable player, you got them somewhere that they weren't expected to be. Or you did something for that team to put them in a position to win. Like, if Lamar Jackson tore it up in the AFC Championship game and they still lost, I would probably say he didn't look great. So I don't know what I don't know.
See, and because it's the glory numbers, right? They're looking at quarterbacks all the time. And that is a wrong way of approaching it, because isn't there some guy in Cleveland that did pretty well that carried the team on his back playing defense?
Yeah, Myles Garrett, right? Defensive player of the year. Why can't he be an MVP?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They don't do it.
Because
when
you think about it, they lost their starting quarterback.
Christian McCaffrey. Right? Think about what he meant for the San Francisco 49ers.
Right. This is the problem, because they're so hung up on making it a quarterback all the time. They're forgetting about the simple things that have to get done in the trenches.
Yeah, when's an offensive lineman ever going to win it? But I'm just saying. They talk about it all the time. Listen, Ron, I'm listening to all the true team sport, the only sport where all 11 guys have to, be on the same page, blah, blah, blah. But then yet they don't get credit for anything they do.
No.
Nope. Everybody says you need a left tackle. It's one of the most important positions in football.
Matt Light.
Right? No, I wouldn't go that far. But I would just say, right, if that's the most important position
No,
in
it
football,
is.
why wouldn't that guy be considered for an MVP? Because if he kept his quarterback upright, which allowed Lamar Jackson to make the throws, to do all the things he did, guess what? He's just as important. He's probably more valuable because if he's not blocking, Lamar Jackson doesn't get those numbers.
Yeah, because if you take a winning team and if there's a guy on that offensive line and hasn't given up a sack the whole season,
right? Come on,
that's impressive.
Give some love. Give some love for the big men in the trenches. I'm telling you, Ron, we're gonna do Sports Unfolded awards for each sport.
We need to.
All right, it's gonna be out there. Stay tuned for that. Ron, we brought it back. Here comes the segment. It is back. Triple play, my friend.
Shallow right center, long run, but Michael gets there. Throw it back to first, may have a play. Double the morph, and maybe a triple play. It is unbelievable.
Got a triple play.
Just how they drew it up.
Just how they threw it up, my friend. NHL points leaders currently Nikita Kucherov, Nate McKinnon, and David Pastrnak. We're going to have to decide who we start, who we bench, and who we cut. I am first this week. I will start us off, and you're not going to like me much. And I know you want.
Well, I never do anyway.
All right, that's a good point. Wow, that's a low blow, man. That hurt a little bit.
Wait.
Thank you, fans. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I guess that's another Christmas card for me, right?
All right. So I am starting Kucherov. 309 goals. All these guys, listen, all these guys over 300 goals, 507 assists for Kucherov, a plus 130. I like that. I love the plus minus line. It's always big for me. Key why I'm starting him, he knows how to win. He's got 2 cups, which means I'm benching Nate McKinnon, 316 goals, 528 assists. He's a plus 127, and he won a cup. Pastrnak, believe it or not, more goals than both of these guys at 334 for his career. Only 358 assists, so less on the playmaking side for me, which I didn't like. A plus 138 though, so he had the best of but no cups. So I went Kucherov because of the cups. I want a guy that can win and knows how to win, because if I build around him, he can build them up. McKinnon, again, 528 assists. I like that number, and he won a cup. And so Pastrnak, I had to cut.
Yeah, I knew you were going to cut Pasta. But
and I know you're going to put him on your team
in this house today.
Yeah, because of course, you're a homer.
No, it has nothing to do with being a
okay.
homer.
Explain to me how a guy with 170 less assists than these guys is ahead of him.
First of all, he's a goal scorer. Okay,
not by much more.
He's a goal scorer.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Okay. He's got the most accurate shot in the NHL.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Can't win a cup.
He just won that. He won the accuracy in the All-Star game.
You know what he hasn't won?
A cup.
There you go.
Last year was the chance. This year's going to get done.
You are the biggest hypocrite, because you of all people, oh, they got to win a cup. You got to win a title. Got to have a championship. I put it ahead. It makes them ahead of everybody, except when it comes to a Boston Bruin. And then all of a sudden, go ahead.
Hear me out.
Go ahead.
All right. First of all, out of the 3,
yes,
Pastrnak doesn't need anybody's help. Look, you're saying that. No, but listen to me.
I'm listening.
Pastrnak, it doesn't matter who's out there with him on the ice. He can make things happen and get goals. It doesn't matter who's on the ice, because when he's out there with the 4th line, he's still a threat, and he still makes his own chances. Okay.
18 more goals than McKinnon. Okay, but go ahead.
Right. 18 more goals than McKinnon. Okay. Now, saying that, obviously he doesn't have the cup. So the guy sitting next to him on that bench needs to have a cup. And I'm going with Nathan McKinnon because he's the probably the most pure player out
You're
of these
starting
three.
Pasternak.
I'm starting Pasternak, yes.
If you in any of your ever again in a pick and roll tell me about a
shut up.
championship or about a cup or about any of that crap,
You keep
will
saying that,
not.
but there's a reason why I chose him.
You chose him because he's a Bruin. Go ahead.
No, that's not why I chose him.
Because
he's
in your
one of the
logic,
top
he didn't
three
win a cup.
players in the league today.
He's not a champion.
Not
you
yet.
love champions. You want a champion. You like guys who win titles.
Yes, I do.
You will put Tom Brady over Patrick Mahomes any day of the week,
Absolutely.
right? Why? Because he has more titles.
No, because Tom Brady is smarter.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, I don't know about that either. But okay, so there you go.
I mean, it does sound bad, but yes, hell yeah.
So there you go.
I just
But in
cut
this
out
case,
Patrick
in
Mahomes.
this convenience of what you want to call a sham, in this one though,
It's not
no
a
cups
sham.
doesn't matter because he's got a great shot and he can do all these things
he's
on his
gonna win a
own.
championship. You watch.
With
You
who?
watch. Mark my
You
words.
had the best record last year, the all time, and you guys couldn't win it.
Yes, and you know that whoever wins the President's Trophy never wins it.
It is. That's another curse. Yes,
They got to
true.
come in second this year to win it.
Is that what you're going with? Come in second. Don't
Listen.
come in.
No, I'm going to take Pasternak because he can just make things happen by himself.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Nathan McKinnon is probably one of the best pure players in the league. And he's got so much speed. You put those two guys out there, you don't need anybody else.
Okay.
Kucherov he's a good player. But I don't he needs bodies out there to get goals. He needs bodies. He needs a good sniper, Stamkos, by his side. That's what he needs.
So let me ask you this. And please don't be upset, Ron, but so you're saying Kucherov has better players around him is why he's successful.
Why he has been, yes.
Okay, so the Bruins haven't had Pasternak, like Bergeron and Marchand and all those guys that they've had that are very good. Not good enough, though, to get him a cup.
No.
Kucherov had better guys to get him a cup. Okay.
Yes,
this is memorialized now forever.
That is fine. All your eggs are in one basket.
I am very happy now because I can play this back someday. and I'm just going to tell you, okay, look, you told me this is why they haven't won a cup because they didn't have enough talent, the Boston Bruins. All right, my friend.
I love how you twist things around. I love it.
I am just saying I love me too.
It actually is kind of comical to watch you double talk yourself.
Right? Best goaltenders last year, Bergeron, Marchand, best defenseman, but it don't matter.
Wait. Oh, best defenseman?
They had some of the best defensemen. Their numbers, they were always at the top last year of the league.
Yeah, sure. So the best defenseman. You know,
go ahead.
They have McAvoy. Yeah, okay. So that's it. They have McAvoy.
What happened to Lindholm? You told me when they made the Lindholm deal 2 years ago.
Move.
It was a phenomenal move. The best defenseman possible available.
No, I didn't say the best defenseman possible. I said the best available defenseman available. There's a difference.
All right.
He's not that good.
All right, Homer. Let's talk some NBA. Let me guess. The Boston Celtics made the best deals in the entire league at the trade deadline. All right.
Really? Is that what you're saying?
Xavier Tillman. I know you're pumped up about it. It's actually a very good deal for them.
It's a good deal, but he's not the best.
No, but I'm just because I figured you'd stay on that Homer theme. You want to bring up the logo?
You're the biggest homer there is.
I am not. I've been criticizing the Patriots for years. Years.
Yeah, okay.
And the Celtics.
Yeah, what about those Yankees?
They stink. I will be the first to admit it. I don't care what you put on the field. I would just criticize them with Stroman. That was a horrible move.
It's not
Anyway,
that's actually a really good move for them.
it is not.
It
That
is.
rotation is garbage. Anyway,
No,
NBA.
your rotation is not garbage. You have a couple of good pitchers.
You're just upset because the Red Sox are worse.
They are.
We're fighting for last place in the AL East. We know that.
No, you're not.
Both of us.
No, you're not.
NBA trade deadline ended yesterday, Ron. Couple of moves. So who were some of your winners? Who were some of your losers?
Well, let me see. If I look at my list, I like Philadelphia.
I liked Philadelphia as well. I thought Buddy Hield.
I like the New York Knicks.
Knicks, very good. Bogdanovich and Burks.
And the Boston Celtics.
I didn't put him as my winner. I thought it was a good move.
No, I have him third on my list.
Right? Like, I thought they did some good things to shore up the defense and deepen the bench. So I like that move. I love what the Knicks did.
Yeah.
Even Anunoby, he's having surgery. He's out for 3 weeks, but he comes back. The impact he's made for that team, I like what they've done in New York. I also liked very quietly OKC getting Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward. That was
right?
a nice
Like
pickup for
I
them.
thought, listen, he's a veteran. If he can stay healthy enough to give them some minutes, it kind of, that team's a very good team.
Now.
Yeah, he's out. He's been out since December. But I'm saying if he comes back, it's and then very quietly too, Patrick Beverley to the Bucks. The Bucks are a mess right now, but here's a guy that honestly has a voice, and I feel like he may be. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to mentally because that team's a mess, but he may be able to toughen him up. We'll see. But so I liked him moving there. I don't think it's an impact changer, but so we had the same teams. How about losers? Any losers for you?
I think Toronto for one, because they're just all over. They were giving up players, they were getting players. I don't know if they even know what direction they're going in. So I'd have to say them. I mean, their big pickup, I guess, is Kelly Olynyk, and they gave up some stuff.
Kelly Olynyk back.
I will say this definitely too. Them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Minnesota did enough.
Yeah, I didn't see it. They really didn't make a big.
I mean,
move.
Monty Morris is their big pickup.
Yeah,
Woo! Dallas.
See, I have them as a loser.
Mixed emotions on that one.
I have them as a loser. They got the guy for a guy. They got a guy for the same guy. PJ Washington is not. He's a little.
Yeah, and you're giving up Seth Curry and
you made this big deal for Grant Williams. You made that big deal for Grant Williams. Yeah. And then you gave up on him for a guy that's almost the same.
Yeah.
So I didn't see how they gained in that. And I really felt the Lakers should have made a move. Like if they were legitimately trying to win a championship, I felt like they had to do something. And they did nothing.
No, they did nothing.
And that one I kind of questioned as well. So the Lakers for me were a loser. Dallas was a loser for me. And again, I think we had pretty much the same teams. Bucks are a mess. So we'll see. 1-4 in the Doc Rivers right now.
Yeah, I don't like. Look, I like Patrick Beverley as a player.
Yeah, and
I don't like him there.
Is he a spark plug though that maybe gets them going?
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. But that's not what you need.
Giannis shutting down, dude. Giannis is like not happy. I would not be surprised if you see next season he's asking to be out of Milwaukee.
Well, he's going to do that every year, no matter. How nice can I put this?
Oh, boy.
I think.
Remember our family show.
I think he is my second most hated player in the league right now.
Wow.
Like, obviously, the top one is, our boy up in Golden State. Draymond.
Yeah, I see. I thought you'd go LeBron.
No.
Wow.
No.
LeBron's after Giannis now?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, Giannis has climbed that high, huh?
Yeah. And I used to be a big fan of Giannis, but there's a lot of things that I'm seeing. LeBron isn't even after. He actually, it's Durant that is right behind Giannis.
Wow.
Because I'm seeing a lot of the characteristics
Selfish, right?
Giannis is
It's
doing
about
now
me.
that Durant
Me.
was doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm seeing the same thing, and I was surprised because even the other night he walked off the court. The game
Yeah.
wasn't over. I think Doc tried to make a substitution.
And again, if you want to compare, like LeBron for all that he's done, you know, with trying to build super teams everywhere, at least he's accountable for it, right?
For the most part, yeah.
He's not saying, "Oh, I want out, this isn't working." You know what I'm saying? So he's not saying that kind of stuff because he built the team, basically. I don't care what anybody says. He's built his team.
Yeah, he gets the guys he wants.
Right. And he's living with it. But Durant has not been doing that. And and Giannis is following in those footsteps, and he's a coach killer. He's a coach killer.
You're starting to see it.
For everything that, LeBron has done, he's not a coach killer.
No. And I will say this, Ron, we talked about this earlier, and you didn't think the trade deadline was that intense or crazy. There wasn't a lot. But you got to remember all the offseason moves, like Boston getting Porzingis and Bradley Beal going to Phoenix and obviously Dame in Milwaukee. Like those trades are part of some of this as well. So a lot of teams just decided to go in earlier.
Siakam.
Yeah, right. Siakam to Indiana, right? So it all happened earlier. And I think a lot of people forget some of those trades. That's why I was surprised Buddy he that move. Because
I didn't like that one either. I don't understand that.
Like I like it, right, going to the Sixers, but it didn't make sense for Indiana to give him up.
No, it kind of defeated the purpose of getting Siakam.
Yeah, so I don't know. I thought they had a really good team there in Indiana that could, honestly, if they figured some things out. But
yeah.
Hey, that was some good basketball talk, my friend. But we are going to talk some Major League Baseball. And your friend here, Jose Altuve, he's agreed to remain with the Houston Astros. Do you like the signing?
Well,
and he's playing for the NBA, according to the graphics. So, I mean, he's a little short.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. Look, I mean, I can understand Houston signing him, keeping him here. I mean, he is he's one of the reasons why they've won, right? And
he's a very good player.
I mean, when you think about it, it's probably the equivalent of like the Yankees if they didn't re-sign Jeter, or if the Red Sox didn't sign Poppy.
Yeah.
Heads would roll. Sort of like what we're seeing in Boston this year. Yeah,
listen, I am excited to see teams finally deciding to keep their superstars.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying, all right, he's 35 right now, or 34. He'll be 39 when it ends. Yeah, it's a 5-year, $125 million deal. But you think about what he means to that organization. Like, we're seeing it too much in sports today where they just, look at his age. All right, we'll let him go. He plays somewhere else. Tom Brady. It still stings. I don't care what you say at any point given time, right? The man should have been a Patriot his entire career. And you see things like that now and you start to wonder, right? So I was glad to see it. I might not like Houston too much, and we know their history with the cheating and everything else.
Yeah, but that might have been Cora.
It was probably, it's definitely Cora. But, they finally kept the guy, and I was excited to see that. And they're pretty much saying, look, this will probably be his final contract. He'll retire in Astro once it's done. So that's good to see. Listen, his numbers over his 13 years, though, Ron, listen to this. 307 batting average career, 2,047 hits, 209 home runs, 1,062 runs batted in, 700 runs, 747 RBIs, 293 stolen bases. He's also been an All-Star 8 times, won an MVP, a Gold Glove, 6 Silver Sluggers, 3 batting titles, twice Major League Baseball Player of the Year, and obviously 2 world champions. So he's done a lot for that organization.
He's a Hall of Famer. Is that
right?
By going by those numbers? You know, the accolades just tell me it screams Hall of Fame.
Right? If in the next 5 years he could get 200 hits a year, puts him over 3,000, guaranteed a Hall of Famer. No doubt. So really good to see.
I mean, I like the player. I don't know if I like $25 million a year, but for
today's
Houston
market, though,
to keep him, for Houston to keep him, I think it's really important. And they rewarded a guy that's done it for them his whole career. I mean, I would love to see him in Boston. I mean, I'd like to see anybody in Boston at this point.
Boston don't sign players. Stop it.
They're going to get Montgomery, you know.
Good luck with that. All right, my friend. Hey, good luck, Jose Altuve. 5 years, $125 million. Ron, it is time for split decision. So how our split decision segment works is we ask each other two more likely scenarios, and one of us has to basically make a decision which way we would go. I am first this week. I will start us off. Ron, which team is more likely not to finish first in their conference? The Boston Celtics, who currently have a 4.5 game lead, or the Boston Bruins, who have a 5-point lead?
I'm going to say Boston Bruins. Mostly because the competition is just
in the NHL might be a little tougher
right now in the Eastern Conference. I mean, they still have to hold off Florida, you know, Carolina, the Rangers. I mean, there's some good teams, and who knows what's going to happen with Toronto. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, until they can't do it, Tampa Bay Lightning, right?
Yeah, and I kind of agree with you because I'm starting to look at it. The teams right now that Boston Celtics have to worry about, probably the Cavs, who are real hot right now. They're in second. And then the Knicks. And those two teams don't scare me enough.
I don't think any teams scare me enough in the Eastern Conference, to be honest with you, Eric.
Right. And
you know, I just don't like the makeup of those teams right now.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there. That was a good one. Good call. Good call. Your first split decision?
Yeah, that would help, right?
Yeah, I think that's how the segment works. I think this is how it works, but I could be wrong.
Here we go. All right. So with the Super Bowl coming this weekend, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Who is more likely to win Super Bowl MVP?
Okay.
Christian McCaffrey?
Yep.
Deebo Samuel?
Yep.
Or Nick Bosa?
Oh, I see what you did there. You didn't give me a quarterback option. I would honestly say if it was those three, so you're pretty much telling me San Francisco wins. I'm going McCaffrey because I think he could put up more rushing and receiving that I think it would make a difference.
And touchdowns, right?
Yeah. Like I could see like, hey, he gets 3 touchdowns, 7 receptions for 80 yards and rushes for over 100. I could see him being the MVP.
Okay.
I think Nick Bosa would have to have like 4 or 5 sacks or something crazy. And Deebo, I feel like that injury is still concerning to me because he still hasn't looked the same. So I don't know how much, he'll play, but what kind of impact?
Sort of like how Gronk was when he was hurt. He was kind of a decoy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know if they'll use him the same way. So I would go Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
Of the non-quarterbacks. And on the San Francisco 49ers. Okay. I see what you did there, though.
Did you?
Ron, here's my second split decision for you. Which player who is eligible for the NFL Hall of Fame next year is more likely not to get in? Eli Manning or Adam Vinatieri? And I know how you feel about kickers.
I'm going to say Eli Manning.
2 Super Bowl MVPs. It's almost a lock.
His numbers suck.
He's a 500. He's 500. Literally, his record overall.
His numbers suck.
But he's got the 2 wins, the 2 big wins.
He does. I know he does, but I don't think his numbers are good enough to get in on the first shot. There's no way.
His numbers beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl twice. That may be a factor in this.
It could be, but I don't think
so. You're going. You think?
I think they send Adam Vinatieri, who does deserve to be in there.
Agreed. But again, kickers, we know how you feel about them. All right. So give me your second split decision.
All right. Well, the Super Bowl is coming up this weekend, right?
You said it the first time, yes.
All right. So who is more likely to win Super Bowl MVP?
Oh, get out of here. Here we go.
Defensive tackle Chris Jones, linebacker Nick Bolton, or running back Pacheco?
Isaiah Pacheco. Again, I'm going to go the same route, though. I'd go Pacheco because I think he could do more and have a bigger impact. I think it's very difficult for a defensive guy to win it. Like, it's got to be something outrageous.
And, I've been thinking about this, and as Kenny's getting sick, I think it's going to be a defensive player this weekend.
Do you?
And because when you look at it, everybody's thinking this is going to be filled with offense. Filled with offense. And if there's one thing I know, when you expect offense, expect the opposite. And I think somebody on the defensive side of the ball is going to change the game, and they're going to be in on a quarterback time after time after time. And it's either going to be Bosa or probably, in my book, Jones.
Okay. All right. We'll see. All right. That was our split decision segment. I'm also going to say now, I want to change this up, and I'm thinking about as we go along, and we keep telling we want fan interaction. While we're doing this segment, if you have a split decision that you want one of us or both
absolutely.
of us, please make sure you chime in and give it to us each and every week. We're looking so forward to that. And I'm also going to add it to predictions. If there's a game that you want us to predict, we will add it to our prediction chart as well each week. So we want our fans to join in.
Any sport.
Split decision. Oh boy. Split decision. Give us a split decision. Or if again, a prediction and there's a game that you want to pick, let us know. We will pick that game as well. All right, my friend. It is time for NHL talk. My hockey guy.
What? Really?
Crazy. Hey. Jack Hughes has returned from injury for the New Jersey Devils. Is he enough to spark the team? And go ahead. I will let you go first.
I'm not sure.
I got some stuff.
I think he's a hell of a player. Believe me, he's really good. But I think they buried themselves too far.
He's second on the team in points with 45, 15 goals, 30 assists, and only 32 games. So you think about the amount of time he's missed, right?
Yeah.
But you said something last week that was very important. And I want people out there to know the hockey knowledge this guy has. And I don't like to give you a lot of credit, but I will give you credit for this. The team has struggled since Tomas Tatar has left, right? This season, Tatar, 6 goals, 13 assists. He's a plus 12. So the numbers don't blow you away, but a plus 12. Timo Meier, 9 goals, 10 assists. He's a minus 25, Ron.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
Big difference, right? That's a completely 30-point swing.
Yeah, and it's kind of laziness in your own end. That's what it is. And the fact that you're seeing your star player do it, everybody else is being lazy as well. And they are not good in their own end anymore.
And that's why I don't think him even returning makes a difference.
No.
Right? I think you got to get some of those guys. Toffoli, minus 10. Jack Hughes for the season, a minus 8. So again, he's struggling. And then, what's it? Vitek Vanacek, the goaltender, right? Decent record, 17-9-2. But then you look at it, 3.26 goals against and an 8.87 save percentage. And we've said it. If you're not over the 90s, right? That's probably why you're struggling. You need guys in the 2.5, 2s. That's when you win games.
And it's in your end. They are suffering there because there's too much lazy play. They're just lackadaisical at trying to clear it out, and they're not making the safe plays. They're not doing the simple things. And that is lazy. Okay. This is a team that played superb in their own end last season. You get rid of one player and it made that much of a difference. There is definitely something wrong, and they're all bringing that characteristic with Timo Meyer, and it's it's kind of a joke. This team needs to make several trades at the trade deadline to get rid of that. They need to bring in players of, sound defensive players in their own end. You have to be responsible in your own end in order to enjoy any of the rewards.
25, 21, and 3 on the season, 6th in the Metropolitan Division, 11th overall in the Eastern Conference. So they've got a big hill to climb.
A big one.
Big hill. Hey, I just thought, on a side note, really interesting. So I had an opportunity to meet, his name is Matt. He was actually formerly of the Team USA. He was going to make the team. Jonathan Quick, right, is the goaltender for the Rangers now?
Yeah.
He played with him on Team USA for the qualifying. So we had a good conversation. I actually might get him on the show at some point, but it was really fun to hear some hockey talk because he was so into it and talking all about, how Jonathan Quick was. And he was actually, he was ahead of Jonathan Quick on that team at the time.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name, but Jonathan Quick was not the top goaltender on that team's depth chart.
And then he actually showed me a picture. He had the Team USA, hockey. So it was kind of cool. So I'm trying to get him on the show, and I think it'd be really good just to talk, and especially hockey, because we haven't really had devoted enough time to hockey in some interviews. I think that'd be really fun. So we'll try to get him on the show. But great NHL talk, my friend. I love NHL. You do such a good job with it. It is time for pick and roll.
It's time for pick and roll.
So the NFL has announced their 2024 NFL Hall of Fame class for 2024, and we're going to rank them from 7 to 1. And their names are Dwight Freeney, Andre Johnson, Devin Hester, Randy Gadashar, Patrick Willis, Steve McMichael, and Julius Peppers. I am first this week. I will give you the correct list, and then Ron, I'm sure, will follow up with some garbage. Anyway, see, I can't give you credit for too long. It was very short-lived. So at 7, I went Andre Johnson. And as good as his numbers sound, 1,062 receptions, 14,185 yards, 70 touchdowns, 7-time Pro Bowl, a 2-time All-Pro. His receptions, he's ranked 11th overall in the history of the NFL, 11th in yardage as well, and tied for 51st in touchdowns. I'm not as impressed. I mean, they're good numbers, but they're not like, holy cow, Jerry Rice, those type of guys. So I put him at 7. And this one at 6, the reason is because a lot of time, the era he played, a lot of stats weren't. So Randy Gadashar, it was very tough to he had 20 Gradshar. How do you want to say it? Gradashar. No,
No, good.
20 interceptions for 335 yards, 3 touchdowns, 19.5 sacks, 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, but in 78, he was the AP Defensive Player of the Year and the UPI Defensive Player of the Year. So good player, Orange Crutch defense. So again, he there was something there, but again, just not enough for me. At 5, I went Steve McMichael. 847 tackles, 13 forced fumbles, 95 sacks, 2 interceptions, only a 2-time Pro Bowl, a 2-time All-Pro, and 1-time champion. I did note it, not a lot of champions in these guys that got in. There was only 2, and he had one of them, Steve McMichael. At 4, Patrick Willis, 950 tackles, 16 forced fumbles, 20.5 sacks, 8 interceptions, 2 of those for touchdowns, 7-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro. So I thought that was pretty impressive. 07 AP Defensive Rookie of the Year and 07 PFWA Defensive Rookie of the Year. At 3, this man literally changed special teams. Devin Hester did not get enough credit. 315 punt returns, Ron, for 3,695 yards, 14 touchdowns, Ron. Next closest, Eric Metcalf had 10 in his career. This guy just changed that. Plus, not only that, kick returns, 295, 7,333 yards, 5 touchdowns. So 19 special teams touchdowns. Think about the Super Bowl. They shouldn't have kicked off to him. The first kick, he ran it right back. 4-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro. I went at 2, Dwight Freeney. And I just love the forced fumbles, 47 forced fumbles, 129 and a half sacks, 7-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, and a 1-time champion. Even though he only had 350 tackles, 129 sacks. Very impressive. And I think we've had this man on this list before. Julius Peppers, by far, his numbers are ridiculous and definitely deserve the Hall of Fame. 719 tackles, 52 forced fumbles, 159 and a half sacks, 11 interceptions, 4 of those for touchdowns, 9-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro. In 02, he was the Defensive Rookie of the Year by the AP and the PFWA. So the man was just numbers, sheer numbers. Julius Peppers, number 1.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Number 7, I have Randy Gradishar.
Okay.
For those reasons, 19 and a half sacks. They didn't keep track of tackles then, so there's no numbers on that. 20 interceptions, 4 touchdowns, no forced fumbles. So it's really tough. When you're comparing him to, say, Patrick Willis, it's really tough to compare when you don't have that tackles number. But Patrick Willis did have 5 All-Pro. He only had 2, so I put him at number 7 without seeing enough. At number 6, I had Andre Johnson. I mean, the numbers are nice. They look all nice and pretty with 70 touchdowns, over 1,000 receptions. But it was only nice. It wasn't, special. I mean, he's not Jerry Rice or Marvin Harrison or Randy Moss or Fitzgerald rather. So I had him at number 6, and then at number 5, I had a really tough time with this because I didn't really know what to do with Devin Hester, and I put him at number 5.
And I could see that.
And I know he changed the game as a special teams, and those numbers are fantastic. The problem I have is his position is a wide receiver, and that was a little less spectacular. And I kind of took away because of that. And I don't know. I'm still look. I know he's probably one of the best special teamers of all time, but I mean, he didn't do it where he was supposed to. So, but I put him at number 5, and I think I like that spot because I do like all of the other guys ahead of him better. Patrick Willis I have at number 4, the linebacker, 733 solo tackles, 16 forced fumbles, and 8 interceptions. I mean, I think the numbers could have even been better. I mean, he was terrifying back there for offenses.
Yeah.
So, but at number 3, I put Steve McMichael there. I liked his numbers even better than Patrick Willis. I mean, 838 solo tackles. This guy was a defensive tackle and nose tackle. Not a linebacker. Those are linebacker tackles. So, and then you throw in those 95 sacks and 13 forced fumbles, even a couple of interceptions. And it doesn't hurt that he played 213 games, 100 more than Patrick Willis. And longevity at the line, oh,
Yeah.
I'll take that any day. Number 2, I have Dwight Freeney, like you have. I mean, he was brutal. I remember him playing the Patriots a lot, and I always was nervous with him.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, he could blow up plays at any moment, right? 125 sacks. I mean, that is just gaudy. It's gaudy. So I put him, and he had that one Super Bowl, right? And but Julius Pepper's numbers at number 1. I mean, they're just so ridiculous. He's clearly the best player in the class. It's not even close in my book. I mean, I still can't even believe this guy never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, such a talent. Such a talent.
I can't even understand why. Must have been problems with quarterbacks.
Yeah. Yeah, they get ahead. Mongo was a beast. If you'd like to sponsor the show, by the way, right above us, we have our little header there. You could get your name on our show. And Ron's going to tell you how you can do that before we get into our predictions, my friend.
Okay. Well, it's simple, Eric. As soon as I can find the graphics. There we go. You can just send us an email at ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com. We can send you out all the information. But like I say every week, the only information you need is that it costs less than going to your local coffee shop and getting a large coffee with a cream-filled Boston cream donut.
Very nice. Very nice. And it'll be right up there above me where
Right.
it's sponsored by. So, again, we do some really good things with these headers now. I'm really excited about getting your name in thousands of eyes on your business daily. If you'd like to follow us as well, right? Tick has been running so many different ways you can follow us. We are live and fan interactive. So join us every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to join in. It is time for predictions, my friend. And I will say this, you gained a little ground.
There we go.
Picked up a couple wins last week. So you are 2 games back. Kenny, nice week last week as well, 6-1. James 5-2. I went 4-3. All winning records, though. We're still
6-1.
Right? It was very good.
That's the Ron we all know and love.
There we go, my friend. There we go. So if you are joining us live and you'd like to let us know who you picked during these games, or you have a game that you want us to pick, Kenny's on fire. Yes, you are, my friend.
Hey, I'll tell you. You know what, Eric? I'm gonna extend this a little further. Like, the games that we pick are very difficult to pick, and for us to be over 60% is ridiculous.
We try to pick the top games.
Ridiculous.
Try to pick the top games. All right, so I'll start us off on 2-11. We've got the Boston Celtics at the Miami Heat. Heat are barely over 500. Boston still travels well, has played well on the road, and I think they got the Heat's number. The last time they played them, they blew them out. I'm going Boston here.
Yeah, I'm also going Boston. I just think they're just a better team, and I think they kind of got lucky last year. And I know a lot of that has to do with coaching. And but this team is not as talented as going to the finals talented. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think they can match up well against the Celtics now.
All right. Kenny went Boston as well. On the 12th, February 12th, you got the Minnesota Timberwolves at the Los Angeles Clippers, Ron.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Clippers at home. This is a good game. But I think, because of the trade, I think they're gonna have like a little bit of a little piecework kind of lineup in, and I think the LA Clippers, they remain pretty much intact, and they're gonna be ready at home.
Kenny went Clippers as well. I'm going Clippers as well. Minnesota, very good at home. One of the best home records, but not as good on the road.
Right.
Clippers very good at home, and honestly, they're gelling Kawhi and Harden and
Yeah,
Paul
and they
George
might
has
be
played
down. Like
very
I
well.
said, they might be down a couple of players too. Shipping out to get a piece in. That piece might not play in the game. You don't know.
Yeah, good call. February 10th, that is tomorrow. Colorado Avalanche at the Florida Panthers. Panthers, I wanted to pick against them here, and I looked at it. Colorado not as good on the road,
No.
and Florida very good home team. I went Florida here.
Yeah, I did as well. I just think Florida is going to try to bully them at home. That's what they're going to do. You can bully the road team pretty easily when you get the fans behind you.
Yeah, it helps. It helps. Kenny, you got a pick for us? Colorado Avalanche at the Florida Panthers.
Florida Panthers are tough.
Yeah, they're a good team. Good team. Listen, that momentum from last year, they carried it. They continue to carry it on.
Well, yeah, with Reinhardt scoring, he's going to be scoring like probably 50 goals this year.
Might have lost Kenny. All right, we'll continue.
He's looking for an emoji for it.
Panthers. Yeah, that's what it is. February 13th, Ron, you got the Tampa Bay Lightning at the Boston Bruins.
Well, the Bruins came out a little flat in the first game from the All-Star break, and then they played Vancouver, and then it was on, right? 4-0 win against Vancouver. I think they doubled down on that game, and I'm looking for them to beat Tampa Bay as well.
I picked the Bruins as well, and I think some of what you said. And I also feel like this is the team they need to continue to show that they can beat.
Yeah.
So
it's the class of the league right now, right? I mean, yeah, they might not have won it last year, but this is a team that's a contender every year. And they've got the coaching. They have an aging team. So you've got to put the pressure on them to wear them down. That's what you got to do.
And to your point, listen, Tampa Bay, there's a lot of rumors about trading some guys away, right? Because they're a little bit over 500. This may be the game that does that.
Yeah.
This may be the game that does that. Ron, some game on Sunday, February 11th. San Francisco 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. I'm going, listen, I bet against this man every time. And it came back to burn me, and I'm not doing it again. I'm going Kansas City here and Patrick Mahomes because just like Brady, every time we thought it was no way, they found a way. And Patrick Mahomes is that dude right now.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, I absolutely love him as a player because he has those characteristics that Brady has. But saying that, I am not going with my brain. I am going with the heart because I don't want Patrick Mahomes to win this game. So I'm going San Francisco.
Wow.
Because I don't want the conversations to already start. Oh, Patrick Mahomes is the best of all time. I don't want the question to start now.
They had a stat today. Somebody that won 2 MVPs and 3 championships in their first 7 seasons. It's like Larry, Bill Russell, like it was a handful of guys, Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, whatever, like some of those guys, like nobody in the NFL has ever done it. If he wins this game, he's in that class. Like he becomes one of the greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the facts, man. Kenny's not going to pick, but we're living with these picks. That's our pick for tomorrow night. We already gave you a little teaser there. Kenny's not picking. Come on, Kenny. You don't have a pick for the Super Bowl? You just got to live with it tomorrow. Guess not. Ron, also Sunday, number 11, the Yukon Huskies, the Lady Huskies at number 1, South Carolina, the Gamecocks. That is a big matchup in women's college basketball. What do you got?
I'm going number 1 all the way. It's not going to be close.
Yeah, I don't have much confidence in this either. UConn's played well, but I mean, South Carolina is just an animal. They are an
Yeah,
animal.
they are. They're
Such
too
a good
good.
team. They are a very, very good team. Kenny, you got a pick for
That
that?
is the number one team right there.
Kenny's got a pick for that. South Carolina. All right. Ron, as we normally do, we end our show with our final thoughts. And our final thoughts don't necessarily have to be anything sports related. It could be about anything going on in the world today. I am first, so I will start us off. I do have two. And I know how much you love when I do that. But first and foremost, I do want to say we're about to watch history. Caitlin Clark is on the brink of history. She needs 39 points to become the all-time scoring leader in NCAA women's history, passing Kelsey Plum's 3,527 points for a career. And I don't think it's getting enough exposure. And I want people to really pay attention because you think about it, she's still got another 10 games or so to play. So she's going to shatter this record. Such an amazing player in WNBA. Obviously, is going to be the number one pick. But you got to appreciate greatness when you see it. And honestly, she is on that plateau of greatest players of all time. And we're not doing the pick and roll, but that's fine. We're on the pick and roll. We want to do it again, the pick and roll. My man wants to do the pick and roll again. I love Ron.
It says final thoughts.
Does not. It says pick and roll, but okay. So Caitlin Clark, good luck. I think they play Sunday, so a lot of people are like kind of questioning, should she break the record on Sunday, on Super Bowl Sunday? Like, think about all of what's going on, and how much exposure she may get. But Caitlin Clark, good luck. And I do want to wish my mom a very happy birthday. Her birthday's tomorrow, so happy birthday, Mom. Hope you enjoy your day. And those are my final thoughts.
All right. Well, I wish I could be all as happy and positive as you are, Eric. I've been pretty quiet about this so-called professional team all winter long so far. And I kind of hit my breaking point today where you're reading some of the articles. Everybody's like, oh, we're going to sign, Montgomery, we're going to do this. We're in on that. And we're enough. Stop blowing smoke up all your fans' butts, Boston Red Sox. Okay. You brought in a guy, Craig Breslow, to change the atmosphere in Boston because they have sucked for so long now. Sucked. Being dead last in like every category, and just a laughing stock of the Major League Baseball because you're not in any conversation in anything except for closer to the bottom. Okay? Now, with that being said, then you make the move and you bring in Theo Epstein back to make up for your mistakes. How do you figure that's making up for your mistakes? Because you're not changing the GM. He's staying in charge, and he's done absolutely nothing with this historic franchise that it should be Red Sox, Yankees battling it out every year. No. Battling out for the bottom, maybe. And not even that, because I think the Yankees, even though their team isn't as good as it normally is, it's far, far better than Boston. We have one good player. One. And that's Devers. And you know what? He's going to ask for a trade because he can't stomach being here anymore because you're not doing a damn thing to make this team any better.
You good? I think so. Okay. So this has been episode 6 of season 4, Action Jackson. I want to thank everybody that's joined us live. Kenny, you're always amazing. I look forward to being with you tomorrow night for our Super Bowl 58 preview show. Also with the new guy, James. We cover all of the top sports stories every week here every Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rhode Island Broadcasting. You can find us on all our different platforms. So continue to subscribe, follow, share our programs because we want to continue to grow. We want to get a sponsor up there above us as well. So continue to take time to get your eyes and have thousands of eyes on your business. Ron, I will see you tomorrow night, as a matter of fact. So looking forward to that Super Bowl preview show. This has been fun. Every single show, we always ask for the same thing. Let's make it happen at some point. All we ever want is peace on earth.
Have a great night, everybody.